Good evening and happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Probably just gentlemen. I don't think many women watch our show, but that's okay. I
No,
am Jerry, your
correction,
host.
correction. My Aunt Connie and Uncle Mark are tuning in, so shout out to Aunt Connie and Uncle Mark.
Shout out Aunt Connie.
Newest
All right.
subscriber.
All right then. Yeah, if you I am of course I'm Jerry. With me is Pask. We're running a little bit light today. Chris and Casino are both hung up and not going to be joining us for tonight's Thursday stream, which is going to be the dynamic duo and the founding fathers of Sunny Day Media. So we hope you're happy to be here. As you can see, I don't have my glasses on because I forgot to put them on, and I am also in the kitchen because I was relegated because the missus wanted to use the Peloton. That's okay. But Pascal, how you doing? You're in the sunshine right now, but my mom's down there. She said it's not that nice right now, right?
We are in the Sunshine State, where apparently none of the books are legal, and I
Nope.
knew that, so I laid some action before I got here. Um, and I think I'm gonna have to phone in some Sunday bets to some fellas up in New York because once again, no betting here in Florida unless you got a
Nope.
guy, unless you got a
Yeah.
paisan.
No, I know a couple of people have some guys down there. But yeah, it's not legal down there, surprisingly, because Florida, especially in Florida, because Florida is kind of much like New Hampshire, a live free or die state type deal. And Connie, how we
Aunt
doing? There she
Connie, Aunt
is.
Connie's checking in, baby. What's going on, Aunt Connie? Thursday night football live from the Sunshine State. All right, so what
How
do we
are
got
you?
here, Jerry?
So we have a shit Thursday night football matchup, in my opinion. I'm not really crazy about this game, and to be honest with you, I'm probably not even going to waste my time. It's the Rangers open the season tonight, so I'm more hyped for that than this game. We got Chiefs Broncos, Chiefs Broncos in Arrowhead. So I think we can all kind of figure out how this one's going to go.
I got some notes on this before we jump into this. Do you want to talk about that big? I mean, it's relevant because Jets played the Broncos last week. That's a big
Yep.
Jet win. Do you want to
Oh yeah.
touch on that before we get into Thursday?
Yeah. No, yeah. I'll jump into that really quick. Me and Facino are gonna have a nice little. I'll keep it clean for Aunt Connie, but a nice little circle party here. If you could put two and two together there, on Sunday. So, so stay tuned for that one Sunday morning. We'll have our talks then. But yeah, that was a massive win. And to be honest with you, I was sitting here with Lindsay the entire time, and she was just like, "They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose." And for a while, like I honestly didn't think, you know, that was it wasn't it was a must win, but it was also like I can't lose. Like that's a team that we should have beat. That's a team we all know we could have beat, and that's a team that we did beat. We beat. I don't want to say handily because we only beat them by 10, but I like to think we played them very well, and
That
I
was a
was
game.
happy.
That was a game that was circled on the schedule, right? Because you
Yes,
know
yes,
that
yes.
Sean Payton was talking shit to start the season about Hackett and the job he did last year. And you know what? Like, kind of rightfully so. Listen, I've never been a head coach. I would never start firing shots, especially when I'm taking over an awful roster
No, before the season
like
started, and
Denver.
after watching, exactly, yeah, he has no leg to stand on other than his legacy in New
New
Orleans. But
Orleans, yeah.
he's a long way from the Big Easy right now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so fuck him. Hackett's also kind of a jerk off. I don't want to call him
Yeah.
that. I don't want to say he got lucky, but like he hasn't really been doing much. That was a big win for him, and it was important to have under his ego and for his ego and under his belt. But like, I can't really sit here and say he's been doing the most for the Jets right now. And like, I think I want to say it might have been Facino, but somebody said that without Rodgers, Hackett's kind of, it's kind of like a moot point. He doesn't really bring too much to the table, but he's the Aaron Rodgers whisperer. So until we have Rodgers on the field, we're really not going to know about that. So at least the guy has a job for a whole season because he needs to stick around to see if we can get our money's worth.
I thought so that's where I differed for and maybe it's because I'm not a Jet fan, right? Because I bet you if the roles were reversed, I probably would have been saying a lot of the same shit you guys were saying in that game. So pregame, I didn't have the stones to take the Jets money line, but I took
Oh, it
them
was a no
spread.
brainer. No brainer.
I think it was 3.5. I think they were giving the Jets. And um even when things started breaking down in that game, the mismanagement Zach Wilson had with the spike. Couple things on that, and Boomer had a fucking rant on it on WFAN this week, and so to paraphrase here, Boomer basically said it's a lack of awareness. Zach's lack of awareness is evident, and that part I agree with. Right, Zach has a lack of awareness overall for the NFL game. There's no doubt about it. Right. However,
You can notice it in his progressions and his checks.
right,
Like he's not hitting receivers when he should be. Yeah, I agree.
but
It's very
but
evident.
there's but here's the two things I saw out of that, and also to paraphrase Boomer, Boomer criticized that throw to Garrett Wilson, and that was Zach's fault.
The one that got picked.
Yes, I completely disagree with that. That was not Zach Wilson's fault. That hit Garrett Wilson in the hands. Okay,
It went through the breadbasket. Yeah, but
It went
was
through
a
the breadbasket.
It
Yeah.
went through but he made it go through the bread. Like he contorted
But that's
his
his
body
fault.
to make it
That's
go.
that's his fault.
Yeah, I guess.
You want to be a true no, not Zach Wilson. That's Garrett Wilson's fault.
Yeah.
You
No,
want-
I knew what you were saying.
You
yeah.
want to be a true number one wide receiver in this league. Anything that touches your hands, especially hitting you in the breadbasket, the D back has no business taking that ball out of the offense's hands right there. So no, and you know what? Shame on Garrett Wilson. And I don't know if he did, and if he did, I'm an asshole. Hands up. But shame on Garrett Wilson if he didn't go out in front of the media after that game rather, and say, hey, that pick's not on my quarterback. My quarterback threw a fantastic ball, hit me in the breadbasket. I need to come down with that. I'm a true all-pro wide receiver. I'm a guy that wants to get paid the big bucks after my rookie contract. I need to come down with that. So that's where I disagree with Boomer Esiason. Now, where I agree is the lack of awareness. However, it all kind of comes back to Hackett and Saleh, right? So I remember all my years of being and the Lions aren't the only team that do this or have done it in the past. I mean, the Jets very famously, that fake spike that like set the Jets franchise back, I don't know how many years, when I think it was late in the year, Dan Marino's coming up to the line. He fake spikes it and just pops it into the end zone. That's what stuck out to me. So is it a lack of awareness? Yeah, but there also needs to be a nonverbal agreement or a nonverbal kind of head nod or something, or an audible at the line, something where like there's got to be something practiced almost every day where when you're running through your 2-minute drill, where it's like, hey, clock's winding down. We got time.
We're talking at the half.
At the half.
Okay.
There needs to be something.
I think he got it. I think he snapped the ball with 1 second
No,
left on the clock.
but that's way too close, Jerry. And what I'm trying to get at here is there's got to be, like I said, a head nod. It's got to be an Oklahoma, Texas, whatever. It's got to be something verbal. First of all, time like that, you don't get under center, okay? You get back in shotgun.
Yeah.
Guys, hustle. You get under shotgun, you clap your hands, and you get that ball as quick as you can. You could still spike it if need be. And there needs to be some kind of communication between Zach Wilson and the most trusted guy, which I'm going to assume is Garrett Wilson, to, hey, I'm giving you a head nod. Everyone thinks it's a spike. Get in that end zone. I'm going to pop it up there. It's either your ball or it's the sidelines ball. There needs to be that communication. And that's where I said it comes down to practice. It comes down to, like, what is Robert Saleh and Nathaniel Hackett doing every day? Because that's something that should be practiced. I mean, how many times did Stafford to Calvin in the end of games or in the end of halves where we would get a cheap 7 points because Stafford would give Calvin a little head nod or something, put hands behind his back. He would do something, and Calvin knew, okay, jump ball me. Right? There's gotta be something there, and I think that's more on coaching than it is on Zach. The only thing I'll throw on Zach Wilson is probably should have gotten in shotgun. Clap your hands. But outside of that, because fuck it, even if you get a penalty, okay, it's the end of half. That's the same thing as snapping it at 0. Right?
Speaking of penalties, not to cut you off track, but I want to talk about penalties really quick. The NFL is out to, for whatever reason, the NFL is out to get the New York Jets. I don't know what it is, but we're getting flagged like motherfuckers out there. And then on top of that, it's not being reciprocated. I'm sure you saw the high hit on Zach Wilson after he threw the ball, right? The roughing the passer was not called?
No. Refresh my memory.
I don't know who hit him, but somebody came in high and like literally It was. I don't want to call it a horse collar because he wasn't like dragged down from the back, but it was a very high hit. Where in this day in the in the NFL, where they're so soft, like that's got to be a flag 10 out of 10 times, at least for consistency. Do I necessarily agree with it being a flag? No, but that's how the game is played these days. It's soft. That's okay. That's just the nature of the beast. But like, we're just getting boned left and right here, man. Like, come on. Don't you want to see us be good? What's the deal here? We were supposed to be awesome, and now we're just scrappy underdogs. I don't get it. We got boned against Kansas City. That's another thing. We got boned against Kansas City. Don't you think they'd want to make good on that not just one, but two bullshit calls that ruined the game against the Chiefs that would have been an upset? No, I guess that's just me. But whatever. No, I don't know why, but the NFL is. I wasn't. That wasn't about you. That was more so about the NFL because fuck them. But I don't know why, but I guess the NFL is just out to get the New York Jets. I don't know what it is. Maybe they want us to have a high draft pick so we can build up an offensive line and be good. I have no idea, but we'll see. Thank you. I'm glad you like that.
We got a lot of Jets fans in the chat.
That's Hell yeah.
News. A lot of people from New York tuning in.
It's going to be a very somber Sunday, so don't be too excited. I'm not very excited going into Sunday again. We'll talk more about that Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Be sure to tune in. But I don't think it's going to be looking good against the Birds. I'm a little scared. I know we played the Chiefs well, but I like to think that the Eagles are a little more fully put together than the Chiefs are.
There are holes in the Eagles game. There are absolutely holes.
I agree with that.
And there's a lot more. There's going to be a lot more eyes on that tush push, especially. I don't know if you saw it was in the New York Post today. What's his face? Quentin Jefferson on the Jets is basically accusing Jason Kelce, the center on the Eagles, for kind of lining up in the neutral zone on that play quite a bit, giving them an advantage. And so I'm going to assume there's going to be some closer eyes on that. Don't be surprised if a flag is thrown on that tush push at some point Sunday, because you're going to see it. They're going to drive at some point. They're going to do it. But don't be surprised if they're a little quicker to throw a flag on that.
We'll see. I like to think the defense looked great last week. I think the defense is going to come up big against a very sound offense here like they did against Kansas City. But we'll see. Hopefully we're not too hungover from last Sunday. But enough about gangrene. Let's get into the Broncos and the Chiefs tonight. Let's address one thing real quick off the bat so we can check the Swifty box here. What's the deal with Travis Kelce? Is he playing tonight?
He is playing. He seems to be playing.
He is.
That's I have a bit of an injury report here. I'll get into after with Kansas City because it is kind of long, but there's some optimism. Taylor Swift will be in attendance tonight. I got the update.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay.
I got the update. She will be there.
She didn't go last week, right, when they were in Minnesota?
No, because it wasn't prime time.
Oh, true that. Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about that. You think she only goes to primetime games? You think that's a thing?
You think? You think? Know. Yeah, I think so.
I guess that makes sense.
I don't know. I got nothing against T Swift. I've been a Taylor Swift fan
neither do I.
For a long time, but
I'm very
the NFL is really leaning into it, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look. It's not tough. A good look.
I wouldn't say it's not a good look, but they need to pump the brakes. We saw it again. I don't want to sound like a bitter fan here, even though I kind of am, but we saw it firsthand against the Jets. You can't be. I get it, but we got to play football here. We can't be asking a question. It shouldn't be a question of whether or not the NFL is throwing games to appease this blonde woman who has
that I don't
morbidly crazy fans.
That I don't think. I think there's nothing wrong to lean into it. But the NFL changing their cover photo, changing their bio, that's a bad look. Don't do that shit. You're supposed to be just the league.
Play football. Just play football.
I totally get trying to use her as a way to get more women engaged in the game. I totally get that. And her using the NFL as maybe trying to get more guys to listen to her music. I get all of that. I understand. This is a business transaction. I totally get it. I just don't like and honestly, I don't even blame the league for trying to tell the networks, hey, let's get this Taylor Swift commercial up. But I understand.
I'm not a fan. As an ex-advertising man, I'm not a fan of that. Fuck that.
Why not?
Pay the price. Because I used to, it wasn't my money.
Well, aren't they paying? Is Taylor
No,
not
no,
paying for that airtime?
to my understanding, I heard the NFL asked all of its television partners to air all those Taylor Swift commercials on the arm. I don't know the
Oh,
truth to that statement.
that's
I don't know
not
what the
right.
deal is, but
Yeah, no,
I
that's not
heard
right.
rumors that they were asked to air all those commercials on the arm. And if
That's not
that's the
right.
case, fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
that.
not right. Can't do that. But I mean, the NFL's king. So, like,
I
genuinely,
agree with
and
that
and
as
and,
well.
let me tell
Yes.
you, they do give the networks a ton of leeway. So, um, especially with the flexing that they do. Like years ago, it used to just be like, yeah, if that's a shitty game for Sunday night, that's a shitty game. Tough titties. Like you just see it now. You see it now this Sunday. The Lions and Buccaneers were scheduled to be a 1 o'clock game. They got flexed into 4:25 because it's going to be a better game. Well, now I think Fox has that game, right? So, like, Fox, instead of getting, let's just say, 4 million viewers, they're probably going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 to 15 million viewers, right? Like, so those ads that they're going to charge on commercials is a ton more than they would have normally, for a 1 o'clock
You
game.
I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of this because I could talk for this. Literally used to be my job. I did this for a living, but you can I can have a TED talk on the differences between NFL windows, NFL game prices. Like
Yeah.
I used to deal with Fox all the time. That was my bread and butter. Shout out my man Rob Sclair. I don't know if you're watching. I know I tell you about the show, but I don't think you tune in. But shout out him. But it's a cool business, and there's a lot, especially like you said before, the NFL is king. There's so much fucking money behind the NFL. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but I don't work there anymore, and they're no longer with my agency anyway. So fuck it. When I was on Geico, our NFL budget alone for the entire season across all four networks was $150 million.
That's nuts.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, so Kelsey's playing. I looked it up a little bit ago. It sounds like he's taping the fucking shit out of his ankle and probably gonna take something that Aaron Rodgers magic pill that gives you a southern accent. So we'll see. I have him starting in one of my fantasy teams. He was my first round pick. I kind of really hope he balls out just because I need to keep momentum going here because I don't want to be the loser at the end of the season cooking dinner. Shout out Will because we all know it's going to be you, but he's getting shipped off, so we're going to miss you. But we're also looking forward to that meal you're going to cook in January. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I don't think this is enough to stop him. I think we've seen him play more hurt than what he. I don't want to downplay the injury because it did look bad. Did you see the play?
Where he got fucked up? Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the play. So it looked horrendous. Like it was like you remember that Monday Night Football game? I want to say it was in 2019, maybe 2018, where Kittle went down, and it looked like Kittle fucked his knee like to no end, and then like the next game he came back. Like I think it might have been a case of that where it's like it didn't look good, but I think it's a best case scenario type injury. But I'm just surprised he's coming out there to follow, well, let alone he came right out of the locker room. But I don't know, we'll see. But I just to get into the actually before we get into the game, what do you got in the injury report?
Yeah. So little injury report. Like I said, Kelsey should play. Taylor Swift in attendance. Their punter Tommy Townsend is questionable. Should play. That's more significant than you think. I don't know how good this punter is, but like being down a punter could definitely totally change the game. Here's my big thing. George Karlaftis. Now I followed this guy a little bit at Purdue. I wanted him in Detroit. Nice pass rusher. Not a Von Miller. Not saying that. I mean, so far I would say not a Von Miller, but he's kind of up there. So he looks like he's going to play. Looks like he's going to be on a pitch count. Just for reference, I don't know where he is sack-wise this year, but in terms of pressure, according to PFF, he's averaging 4.6 pressures per game. Now, to put that into perspective of what that is, the guy leading the league with pressures per game is Aiden Hutchinson, all right, product of the Detroit Lions. 7 pressures per game. After that, it's Max Crosby at 6.8. Then Micah Parsons, the guy everyone talks about, the guy everyone says is the best pass rusher in the league, he's at 5.8 pressures per game. TJ Watt is at 5.4. Nick Bosa is at 5.4. And then Jalen Carter, Aaron Donald, Cam Jordan, and George Karlaftis are all averaging at 4.6 pressures per game. Now, why am I saying this to you? pressures per game are important because obviously the sack is the most important thing, right? Like that's like the equivalent of hitting a home run as an everyday ball player in baseball. A sack is big, right? It could change games, it could change drives, it could change seasons. But what you need is you need consistent pressure. And so that's why I showed you where he was in reference to the rest of the league. 4.6 pressures a game is up there, and that's important. You take that out of the game, you're giving Russell Wilson, now listen, Russell's not the same guy, and we'll jump into Russell in a little bit. But you don't want to give Russell Wilson time. No matter how bad he looks, you never want to give a guy that has the ability to run around the field, that has the ability to hit deep passes. You don't want to give that guy any more time, right? And the Chiefs defense is already a defense that's been up and down to begin with. Thank God they have Chris Jones back. But those 4.6 pressures a game, that's important. Even though he's on a pitch count, I assume you'll probably see him on anything long. Anytime there's a penalty, I would assume George comes in, and you're going to see him probably every play, third and 3, 3rd and 4. Well, I wouldn't say 3rd and 3, but like 3rd and 4 and up. You'll probably see George on the field. So
he's a cycle man. He's a part of the rotation.
Well, no. He's typically there's like he's always in there. I'm saying because he's coming off an injury, and I don't know what that injury was, but I'm reading that
hamstring.
He's going.
I got the stats up right now. And
right.
To answer your question from before, he has two sacks, 15 tackles.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I got on the injury report.
Also, Tommy Townsend, that punter, hell of a head of hair. My God.
Never seen it.
Look at this shit. Hold on, I'll show you right now. Wait for
it. Okay, I think I have seen this guy.
There it is.
Gorgeous.
Great head of hair. Good for him. Nothing I love more than a great head of hair. But yeah, let's get into the game here. I think this is Chiefs by a landslide. I don't think it's fucking close. I think the Broncos stink, and I want to dance on their grave for whatever reason more than I did so on Sunday. But like you said before, I want to talk about Russ here. And I'm thinking about this. He's not the same Russ that he was obviously in Seattle, and he's never going to be that Russ again. And I like to think, I think now that we've seen a year and a half, let's call it. This is week what, 6?
Week 6, yeah.
7? 6? Yeah, so we're almost about halfway through the season now. We're just before it. And I think it's safe to say that Pete Carroll, I don't want to be the reason that it was his success, but I think Pete Carroll played a major part in that, conducting an offense like we talked about on Sunday, utilizing what you have and seeing what you have in your player and then saying, oh, you're good at this. We're going to fucking hammer that and really make that the focal point of this offense. I think Pete Carroll did a great job in that. And I think that's why we saw Russ's trajectory be so great. That being said now, Russ has also always been kind of a square, as we all know, with Mr. Worldwide's Pitbull. Mr. Unlimited. Mr. Unlimited. All that good stuff. And, Peyton at the beginning of the season he basically said, cut that shit out. And to Russell's credit, he's been, I don't want to call him a ghost, but he hasn't been in the media nearly as much as he was last year with all these stories and side, all these side quests, let's call them, minus the Subway commercials, because he is still on the Subway commercials, not as often as he was, which is good. So that's good for Russell. I'm glad he's taking that step. And he's kind of like, he for someone who might be the least self-aware player in the NFL among them, because there's a ton of them, and seeing like, okay, like my coach is saying this, I'm playing like dog shit. I'm taking a step back, and I'm not gonna be, you want to talk to me in the locker room. Maybe you shouldn't have to make an appointment to talk to me, which is good for him. I'm glad to hear that. That being said, I think this is just the case of quarterback gets old, plain and simple. I think quarterback got old, left his old system where it was perfect for him and working out kind of, and now we're just kind of seeing him age out of sorts.
That I disagree with, but I don't want to stop you.
He's got to be like, keep going, I'm done.
He
32,
can't even,
34.
He's got to be younger than Stafford. Stafford's like 35. Stafford came into the league in 2009, and he came in like 2012.
34.
He's 34. Wow. Well, I think he did. I forgot about that. He transferred. a couple of. He played
an extra year at Wisconsin.
Yeah. Right. So, But even 34 is like, especially in today's game, it's not really old for a quarterback. Now, it's older for a mobile quarterback, but we saw him kind of move away from being that mobile guy anyway. His last few years in Seattle, because of all those ankle injuries he had, they wanted to see him move away from, running outside the pocket and everything. So I don't know what it is. I truly, truly, truly don't know what it is. I know what I could tell you is as his career trajectory came down, so did the off the field kind of image of him also come down. People felt, which is weird, like a lot more comfortable about basically talking shit about him once he started playing like ass. But I guess
I think that's the age old thing though. If you can talk if you're gonna talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk. And he was walking the walk for a solid amount of time.
He was.
All his haters were just
I would just love, and it's also very evident that Sean Payton is not married to this guy, right? Like I think Sean took this job like I also think that was part of the reason why Nathaniel Hackett was fired, because Nathaniel Hackett probably pushed for Russell. Like they literally put all their chips on the table and was like, no, we don't need anything else. We just need this guy. Which in retrospect,
they're fucked for 5 years.
They are, but like it kind of made sense. Like that deal at the time genuinely made sense, and like credit to the Broncos for kind of going for it, because since Peyton left, they have been absolutely lost at the quarterback position. Now,
yeah, what are they going to do? Play with Brock Osweiler, right? That was his name, the fucking tall guy. Yeah,
he's calling games now. I think for CBS or Fox. I was just watching him Saturday. I forgot what game.
College?
Yeah, he's calling college games. He's calling college games. Yeah,
good for him.
He looked good. You know what though? I'm a fucking asshole. Maybe no. I think it's college of the NFL, but I think it's college. I think I saw him Saturday. Yo, you know what I always thought he looked like? Robert Pattinson, the guy from Twilight.
Yeah.
If you look at side by side pic, like Brock is just like maybe has like a little more of a tan, but they look fucking identical. To sum up this whole thing on Russ, I don't know what happened. I genuinely I really don't know what happened to this guy, because he was always a guy that could beat you two ways, and now like he's not even a guy that could beat you one way. But then you also see these flashes of brilliance in him where like he just drops back and just puts it perfectly in Judy's hands, or like no one's open and he scrambles for 25 yards. Like he still has that. So it's not lost. He hasn't physically slowed down, in my opinion. His spiral's still fucking so tight, and it's perfect. And the way he throws, I mean, mechanically, he is sound. He's a sound mechanical quarterback. I don't understand what happened. Is it like, is he just
I think it might be the Broncos. I think it just might be the Broncos, dude.
I don't know, man, but like
the people look past the Broncos. They're not a very, they're not as bad as the Bears, but they're a pretty dysfunctional franchise.
Yeah, they are. Well, now they are. I mean, they used to be the gold standard. For a long time, this was a gold standard in football. Genuinely.
I think post Peyton. I don't know what Elway did. I don't know if Elway sold to the devil for Peyton in those glory years for that last one. But post Peyton, even Peyton's last year, you could see the downcline, and ever since then, it's just been like.
Well, Peyton's last year, they won the Super Bowl, but he was awful. Peyton was awful.
Was it his last year? Yeah,
that was when Brock Osweiler came in, and like kind of played well enough where you thought like, okay, does Brock kind of just take the job? But from everything we heard, like Peyton was still important to have on the field. He just physically didn't have it anymore. But that was such a talented
I thought he won, then lost, and retired.
And also, R.I.P. to a very key guy on that team who just passed away, I think, this offseason. Demaryius Thomas, 88.
Oh,
hell of a wide receiver. Yeah, he died. He was awesome. Awesome. I always remember him in those Buffalo Wild Wings commercials. He was great. I loved him.
Yeah, my roommate, because that Broncos run was during college. They won my junior year, and one of my roommates is a diehard Broncos fan. Yeah, so it was cool to watch that game with him. He was a big not Miles Sanders. Who's the running back?
It was C.J. Anderson. No Sean Moreno, I think. Was No Sean on that team? Wasn't Willis McGahee.
Like the smaller guy. He was small. I need to fucking hold on. This is gonna bother me because if I hear the name, I'm gonna know.
I want to say, wasn't Lynch on that defense? John Lynch. I know Brian Dawkins was. Brian Dawkins was a safety. I want to say Champ Bailey was also a
In,
safety.
in 2004, in 2016,
Yeah.
Brian Dawkins was
No,
playing.
2015. Brian Dawkins was on that Super Bowl team. I think so. Let me look that up. I'm
I have
almost
the
positive.
roster right here. Hold on. I
Yeah,
have the
pull it
roster
up.
right here. It was Emmanuel Sanders. I was going to say Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel
I had it
Sanders,
wrong. It
okay.
didn't sound right. Yeah. He was a big Emmanuel
Is-
Sanders fan.
Was
Von Miller was there.
yeah.
Keeb Talib. No Brian Dawkins, dude. Brian Dawkins retired in like 2008.
Brian Dawkins.
Actually, hold on.
Bullshit. Brian Dawkins was there.
No way. Because
No
I was friends. No way. Hold on. I have his Pro Football Reference up right now. Brian Dawkins retired in 2011. He did play in Denver, but he retired in 2011. So you weren't wrong. You were just wrong.
So who was
wrong
the
here.
safety? Who was the safety on that team?
Hang tight. T.J. Ward, and then the free safety was Darian Stewart.
Was Champ Bailey one of the corners, or he was gone by then too?
Champ Bailey was not on the starting roster. Their corners were Aqib Talib and Chris Harris Jr.
Aqib Talib. Okay, I forgot about Chris Harris too.
The chain snatcher himself.
Shout out to Stevie Mack. DeMarcus Ware was definitely on that team. I think the edge rushers was like DeMarcus Ware and like Elvis Dumervil. I think Dumervil was on that squad too.
Shaq Barrett was on that team.
Shaq
who?
Barrett was on that fucking team?
Yeah.
No way. I thought that
Shaquille
guy.
Barrett, linebacker.
That's crazy. I did not think he was in the league yet.
What was the name you said before? I have the full roster up.
Elvis Dumervil.
Let's see. I am not.
Oh, also for tonight's betters, Javonte Williams, Broncos running back,
Marcus Ware.
was a full participant Tuesday and Wednesday and should play. I actually have a couple things on the bets. Can we get into the bets, Jerry?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about him really quick too, because he is also. I have him on two fantasy leagues. I know nobody cares, but I'd like to see a big game. I want to see a big game from him, and I think it's more than capable of having. Just because minus up front, which I know is kind of the difference maker in the run, but if he bounces out to the outside, I think he can give the Chiefs defense a solid run for their money. You know, but that's just me. That's me. That's me wishful thinking just because I need to show up in fantasy.
Does him being in the game make you more? Well, I guess let's get into more of the other stuff. I'm thinking like overs. Is this a guy that A, scores tonight, and B, does he aid in this over hitting? So tonight's spread.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think this game goes under.
You think this game Okay, so here's what might make you want to change your mind. Chiefs spread is Chiefs minus 10.5 right now. Over under is set at 47.5. Now, typically, as I've said in the past, the safe bet on Thursday nights is bet the home team spread, bet the under. Or bet the home team to win and bet the under. Now, in this game, I don't feel comfortable betting the home team to win. I don't think any of us do.
It's at Arrowhead. The game's at Arrowhead.
It's at Arrowhead? I thought it was in Denver.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
game's
my
at Arrowhead.
God.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Okay, home team. Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right about that. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I made the background mile high.
No, that's all right.
Oh man, but all right. So here's some things to look out for, and shout out to Uncle Mark for providing me this information. 58% of the bets today are on Denver. 67% of the money is on Denver. Now, typically, America does not win. Right? Wherever the money is.
Why is the money on Denver? The spread's 10.
I don't know.
They're playing at Arrowhead Stadium. That's stupid.
I don't know. Advice from Uncle Mark was to either take a teaser here or buy the half point and hammer Denver at minus 10. So, speaking of which, now let's get into our banners. I'm taking the Chiefs, and I'm going to buy the half point, I believe. So that's where I'm at. I don't feel super. And you know what? So I don't feel super comfortable in taking this over. Maybe by the end of the show, I will be. A couple of bets I wrote down here. Now, once again, I'm in Florida, so I can't take player props here on FanDuel. But
Talk dirty to me. I got a free bet tonight. They
So-
sent me a $5 free bet. Talk dirty to me. Give me something.
Here are some things you might want to look into, Jerry.
Let's hear it.
So Pat and Russell to both have 200 plus passing yards tonight. That's plus 100. That's even money. It's not bad. Okay. Now it's not too enticing with $5, but another enticing bet. Jerry Jeudy, anytime touchdown scorer, plus 250. Not bad odds, right? There's always garbage time. Two more things that stuck out to me. Two more big things. A, KC defense plus 500 touchdown scorer. Russell to score tonight plus 700. Now, I'm not very good at math, but if you throw $5 on something that's plus 700, what is that, a $70 win?
$5 plus 700.
It's a $70 win.
It's $35 win.
I'm so bad at math. Are you sure?
Positive. Because if it's plus 700, if you put $10 on that, it's a $70 win. You put 5, it's 35.
Okay, so then that would be something you throw 10 on. Those were two that stuck out to me. Thursday nights, wonky things happen. We've seen it. Would not shock me if Kansas City's defense scores tonight, especially with the inefficiencies we've seen in the Denver Broncos offense. But also, like, Russ to score tonight is not super crazy. Like, them on the goal line, you see it right here, Jerry? He rolls right, he rolls left, and just
easily.
Fucking
especially
just
for a guy
spreads
like
in.
him, easily.
Yeah. So I like that. Like I said, I can't take it. I'm down in Florida. I can't take anything right now. I'm gonna have to phone in my bets like fucking casino. But that's what I have here, Jerry. So I'm taking the Chiefs minus 10. I'm gonna buy that half point, but that's all I got. What's your bet here? If you have,
I'm looking right now. So in my spread'em league, in my pick'em league, whatever you want to call it, I'm hammering the 10.5. I think the 10.5 might be a safe place. But you were just saying this that teaser, buy it down 6, take them at 4.5. That's minus 260. That's again not horrible odds. Now, what? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Uncle Mark parlayed that with two other things. I think Uncle Mark. I'll actually just read out to you what he had because he sent me some nice bets here. Now I don't really fuck with these. I don't like taking teasers, but Uncle Mark he had KC minus 4.5, KC over, and then Detroit plus 2.5, which is not bad because I think the line definitely went outright Sunday, but that's a separate thing. That's plus 180.
Wild man
that's
move.
Not bad.
Taking Thursday night bets with Sunday morning bets.
With Sunday,
a wild man move.
Uncle Mark lives on the fucking edge, baby. He lives on the edge. Shout out to Uncle Mark.
Chiefs over. He's taking him at 30 points. I feel like that's steep. I don't think they're going to get 30 points here. I think they do okay. You got to keep in mind here. The Denver
is it a game over or it's the KC over?
That 30 points is 29.5 is the KC over. And the Broncos total is 17.5, which honestly at 17.5, you might want to consider that. I'm not touching that. But I'm like we were saying before, that's not a bad line there. That's two touchdowns and a field goal. I think that's more than attainable, especially if they're coming out firing on all cylinders here. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find a small little fucking. These are passing TDs. Is Cortland Sutton playing tonight or is he hurt?
I believe he's playing tonight. I saw him on the prop bets, so he should be playing.
I don't know. I gotta find myself a prop. I do like. I don't know. Pat for 200 yards is minus 1450. Russ for 200 yards is minus 205, which is crazy. But I guess just for the sake of this, pencil me in for Chiefs minus 4.
I just phoned a friend here, and I'm taking the Chiefs at minus 10. I'll roll with that. I bought the half point. I got it at minus 120. Fuck it. Not much difference between minus 110 and minus 120. If the extra half point helps me feel a little better as I'm ripping Busch Lights and watching this game tonight. Shout out to the Airbnb host too. This he's got a screened in porch like pool. which is like I thought it was glass. I thought it was gonna be glass.
No, that's the Norman down there.
Yeah.
That's big time down there. If
Which
you
is
have a
cool.
pool, it has to be fenced in. Yeah, my aunt and my uncle both have those in two. Like not the same aunt and uncle, but whatever. Not gonna get into family semantics here, but yes, it's a very common thing in Florida. It's cool.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like you're kind of swimming indoors, but you're not.
Right. No, it's cool. It's nice. I guess keeps the skeeters out somewhat. So, and yeah. So
But yeah,
I got
put me
what else
down.
you got?
Put me down. My number one bet here. Put me down. Chiefs minus 4.5. Take the
Chiefs.
teaser, buy it down a little bit. I do think that 10.
What
I
are
like
the
10.
odds
I
you're
think it's
getting?
doable. Chiefs minus 4.5. I got them at minus 290. It's hefty. You want to give it an extra point? You want to go to 5.5? It goes down to 260, which at that point, that's not really going to make much of a difference here. However, what I do want to say is, and as you can see by the hat, I talked about it briefly at the beginning of the show, and I talked about it in my tweet when we tweeted out the link. Tonight's not opening night for the Rangers, but it's the start of the season for the New York Rangers. We're taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres are having a little bit of a resurgence here. But what I'm looking at here is the Chiefs minus 4.5 parlayed with New York Rangers money line and over 6.5 goals, which you might think, Jerry, 6.5, that's a big number for a hockey game. Don't games usually end 2-3? No, not this day and age. And what I realize, I don't know if it's going to be the trend this year, but everyone in my handicap group chat is saying over. I kind of like it. I think everyone's going to come out guns blazing, and I think the Rangers are going to take this either 4-3 or 5-2 or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Jerry, do we want to fuck around here and take a little parlay together? Do you want to try? Do you want to go just all overs? Do you want to go? Oh no, Rangers money line. You're talking about Rangers money line.
No, it's
right?
gaming over. It's gaming over. They're in. I mean, I could be. Listen, if you want to convince me into this over, maybe I buy it down to 45. But I can have a conversation here.
I'm thinking. I'm going to parlay here. Let's go. Let me just get. I have to look at all these odds. Okay, so if we want to mess around here and take
42.5 at minus 215. I do not hate that.
You want to do that? And how do I get to the NHL? Are the Islanders on tonight?
They are
Such
not.
a fan I am. Oh, so Rangers are the expected winner here at minus 145.
Not by. Oh, we got 145. I got them at minus. I had them at minus 125. I don't know what they are now.
You want to take Rangers money line over, and then Chiefs minus 10.5 over 47.5. 4-leg parlay. Throw $10 on it. Where does that get us? That gets us $89.
Ooh, that's
What
nice.
is $5? Nope, I got to bet 10. Okay. All right, yeah, let's fuck around. Let's have a little fun. Let's put a smile on that face. Okay.
I'm in, baby.
10 to win 89. Yeah. Little over action. Little Rags over. Little Chiefs Broncos over. What else we got, Jerry? That's it?
That's all I got. That's
Okay.
all I got, baby. Yeah, sorry for flying light tonight, but I like to think Pask and I did a great job. We had a great banter, nice little talk. Towards the end, it got a little weird with us being on our phone and hammering out lines, but that's okay. Sunday, I said it 4 times now, but just a reminder, Sunday morning, 10 a.m., we're going to be back with the A Squad, myself, Pask, Vicino, and Chris, CP Sports NY. You can expect him going forward on just about every Sunday show, I believe. We have now anointed him a regular, which is good. I think all 4 of us together have a great dynamic. I think everyone's very knowledgeable. They make me honestly look bad because everyone's X's and O's, and I'm more of a vibes guy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I got for tonight, Thursday night. Enjoy your game. Enjoy your beers. Let's go Rangers, and we'll see you Sunday morning.
Guys, happy betting. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you Sunday, 10 a.m. sharp. Bring your books. Bring your wallets. We're going to have a good time, and we're going live, baby.
Be there, be a square. We'll see you.